Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews, where we talk about all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or just okay. We'll watch them and enjoy them, or enjoy talking about them at least. Again with me this week is Kerr9000. How you doing, dude?
Hi, old chap. Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not doing bad. Just chilling out. Walking to the dog, as you probably heard. Called him weird. You come running down the stairs, locked up by the front door, and then come over here and jump on the settee for no reason. Still looking at the front door. Well, the direction of the front door. This film we're watching this week is Watership Down. It is a film about rabbits. An animated film about rabbits, I should say. And surprisingly, which I knew this film was a children's film in the sense of it was rated like U or something. But
yep, Universal.
It's still U. I watching this film, I was watching this thinking, I would have thought this film would have had a higher rating, even a PG nowadays, because they seem to be a lot stricter on that kind of thing. And even though it's animated, and I think that's the reason why it's a U, you see about 12 million rabbits get murdered. There's blood constantly throughout it. I was thinking to myself, yeah, that's surprising. Because there is points where like rabbits have chunks of them ripped out by other rabbits. There's blood frothing at their mouths. Like there's one point, one of the characters, Bigwig, gets trapped in like a noose and has it around his neck. And there's all like blood pouring out of his mouth, out of his fucking nose, and he's properly dying. And you're thinking,
he proper chokes.
You're like, wow. I said to the missus, you won't get children's films made like this nowadays.
Oh no, you wouldn't. I mean, this is a kids' film which probably has a higher body count and arguably more blood than some of the horror films we've reviewed. And yet this is a U. Interesting fact, this is apparently the film that the British Board of Film Classification has had the most complaints about.
Really?
Yeah, strictly because it's a U and people have sat their kids down. Because U is supposed to be universal for all, just let anybody watch it. People have sat their kids down in front of this and it's given them nightmares and screaming fits.
One of the things I actually wrote in my notes is... I wonder how many people watched this film as a child and ended up with nightmares.
Oh, definitely.
This is the thing with this film, mate. Like, films are a good gateway for children to learn about death and that sort of thing. But this is a pretty brutal film. Like, you've got a rabbit that... Fiver, he's constantly having premonitions of fucking people dying. And he's like, okay, right, we'll go to the start of the film, right? It starts off, everyone's happy. Well, it actually starts off with Frelara or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And he's like, he's really happy with all his other animal friends. You know, this is like basically God for the rabbits, I think. And the prince rabbit is like bounding around all happy with all his animal friends, and they were all happy and they all ate grass. And then the rabbits kept multiplying because they were dirty bastards and kept shagging, because that's what rabbits do. And they were eating all the grass, and Frelara, or whatever his name is. I should have wrote it down so I could read it.
That's it. It's Frith.
Frith is the
Frith's
god
the
thing.
God. Elalara's the Prince of Rabbits.
Yeah, Elalara. So I was getting the names kind of intertwined because I couldn't remember. Because I'm terrible for writing names down. So Frith is like, yo, dude, tell your rabbit buddies to calm down on eating and stop shagging so much. And he's like, nah, we the strongest here. We're going to eat what we want, do what we want. And Frith's like, oh, really? And then turns all the normal animals into animals that eat rabbits. And one of the first things you see is like loads of rabbits just eating grass. Like, it's got a weird animation compared to the rest of the film.
Yeah.
And they're all eating grass. And all of a sudden, a dog comes across and kills a load of rabbits. A cat comes and kills a load. Badger comes and kills a load. There's just lots of dead rabbits on the floor. And it's like, wow. There's about 20 dead rabbits in the first little 5-minute intro. It was good. And then...
it sets the pace, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously, Ella gets bestowed a gift as well, to be fast and whatever else, so he can escape his prey. Escape its predator, sorry. And then it cuts to Hazel and Fiver, and I was like, oh no, something's gonna happen. Oh, we must leave. And they tell the chief rabbit they need to leave because something's coming. He's not sure what, but something is happening. And obviously they leave with a few other rabbits. And for some reason, they're not allowed to leave. I don't know why they're not allowed to leave. It's like, no, we're going to take you back. You're not allowed to go. And it's the same with another rabbit colony. No one's allowed to leave. It's like as if you leave the colony of rabbits. There's something wrong there, and you're not allowed to do that. I don't know why. There's probably some allegory to something, and I just haven't picked up on it. But so they leave, and then later on, one of the characters that you see who tries to stop them from leaving, he manages to catch up with them, and he's like, they're all dead. Everyone's dead. It was the humans. They dug up the land, and everyone's dead. And then he had this weird animated thing where all the rabbits were stuffed in holes, screaming for help and shit. And it's
oh yeah,
fucking hell.
It explains how they were gassed in the holes and stuff, and you're thinking, wow, it's
all the rotting
dark.
rabbits were killing the stench and everything, and it's wow. It's a I don't know about fun film, but it's a very good film. I really enjoyed it. But it does I guess get a lot of kids used to the idea of death, with the fact that 90% of any rabbit seen is likely to have died at some point. Skipping right to the very end, it shows Hazel being old and dying. That's what the end of the film. Hazel dies. The one of the main two characters, which is Hazel and Fiver, brothers. Hazel is seen being like, "Oh, I'm old now," and the black rabbit of death comes along. And is like, "Hey, do you want to come with me?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he's like, "Yeah, you do." And he's like, "Okay." And then he lies down and dies. It's like, wow. But there's a lot going on in there, and it's it shows cleverness of the rabbits. Even one of the earlier scenes had me laughing, where they're was it a root-a-toot on a car?
Oh yeah, the car.
And he's like, see, they have no interest in us. And he stands on the road, and one drives past, see, no interest. And another one comes speeding past from behind and just about misses him. And he just fucking banging across the road, freaking out.
Who's your favourite rabbit in it then?
Oh, I don't know. I like Bigwig a lot.
I like Bigwig.
He's cool. Bit of an arsehole, but kind of,
I like it how Woundwort assumes because Bigwig's the biggest and the toughest that he's the chief.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and my chief Hazel's told me to watch this run.
Yeah.
And Woundwort's just like, your chief? And proper shocked by it.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked that. I also liked at the end, where Woundwort is comes out of the burrow where Bigwig and a few of the other rabbits are. And he's like, what's going on? Stop being cowards. And then he sees a dog. Dogs are not dangerous. It's a fucking Rottweiler or something.
Yeah.
And then he attacked the dog, so you had balls. Got to give him that.
Yeah. It's proper.
And then it's and then it shows. Then they're talking about it. It's and no knew what happened to the body of. I was like, wow, the
General
dog
Woundwort.
fucking the dog full on at him. But children are told tales that if they misbehave, General Woundwort will come and get them. I was like, wow, what the fuck?
It was the same year this came out that the animated Lord of the Rings came out.
Was it?
Yeah, 78, and there's a connection to them as well. They share two actors.
John
Michael,
Hurt.
yep, John Hurt is Hazel in this, and he's Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, and Michael Graham Cox, that's Bigwig in this, is Boromir in Lord of the Rings.
I didn't know though.
So it's quite cool because obviously it's two characters that interact a lot in the one film, and two characters that interact a lot in the other film.
Yeah, agreed. Do you know one thing as well? I forgot about with this film, right? Do you know one thing about this film?
Mm.
There's a bird in it called, I think it's Kiar,
Yeah.
and I think
And
he's
he
Russian.
swears.
And yeah, that's why I was thinking this is a U. There's lots of violence, and then they speak to the bird, Kiar, and they're like, "Hi, we're here to help." He's like, "Piss off!"
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I just assume with the weird way the bird talks and hisses that whoever was classifying it didn't catch the swear and just thought it was a hiss.
Yeah, that was definitely a piss off.
Yeah.
There's no two ways around that. That was simply piss off.
It's one of those films though where loads of the voices in it are really familiar, but I couldn't tell you their names without, like researching it.
I did look at the names, not intentionally to like who does what, but I was looking on Internet Movie Database, get information like genre, director, age rating, runtime, that kind of thing, because I had to put it in the overlay for the YouTube video. And
Ken.
I know that Iver is like, he was in like the actor was in like some program where he's like married to a woman, and next door another couple. Can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. I can't think of the name, but it's like a light comedy, drama-y sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember the name of it.
And I know Pipkin is Roy Keane, who was the dad of Veruca Salt in Willy Wonka.
Oh, right, yeah, he was quite big for a while, wasn't he? I mean, fat like me. Like, I mean, no. Big as in quite a bit around, like. I'm trying to think of what that program was called. It's from the 80s as well, I think.
I was going to say Upstairs, Downstairs, but it's not. I don't know why that just floated into my head.
Much Ado About Nothing, maybe? No. No.
The Good Life?
I'd be The Good Life.
It's a series. I know it's something I'd walk in and my dad would have on, sort of thing.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember seeing him in things. He's even been in Doctor Who and stuff, so. But yeah, I think it might have been The Good Life. Richard Pryor, I think his name was. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But, like, I that's the thing. It's like, so many. The thing with the film is like, shows Hazel older, dying. You don't really see what happens to Fiver after he's like, there's a dog loose in the woods, that kind of thing. And then you don't see him after that. I was thinking, did he die from shock?
I just sort of presume that they all lived quite long, happy lives. And that they just showed Hazel dying as, an example that they'd all lived long, happy lives and that the Warren would continue no matter what.
Yeah, makes sense. And the thing is, I think it's based on a book, so...
Yeah, I've read the book, but not for years. I've read it a couple of times. And there's a... I was going to say a follow-on book, but I think it wraps around before and after.
All right.
Which is like more Tales of Watership Down or something.
I know there
Because
was
I
also
know,
like a later TV series and I think a rebooted film.
yeah, the rebooted film came to Netflix or something, and I know Kiar was played by Peter Capaldi, Doctor Who, and it was all right. I think James McAvoy might have had something to do with that one as well.
Was it as brutal as this one?
I don't remember. I saw it the once, decided it was good but not as good, and then have like defaulted to watching this one again.
Yeah. But it's a really interesting film at the end of the day. There's like a few like threads of different like, finding your own home, safety. There's probably other things there as well that, like I said, I probably didn't pick up on. Like, what the fuck's the Owsla? Is that meant to be some sort of fucking army camp
Yeah,
thing?
I think the Owsler are like the officers and guards and stuff.
Oh, it's just like,
I
I
mean,
really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's a film. Like, I think I first saw this when I was a child. I think I was at my nan's and I was sitting in a chair and it came on the telly and I was watching and I was like, this is really good. Probably like 5 or something. About 10 years, say, after it came out is when I would have seen it. I'm younger than the film.
yeah, I am as well.
And,
I remember at one point it was on like every Easter without fail.
that's probably where I saw it then. If it was on it,
And I know the TV studios got complaints every year about it as well.
they should start putting it back on.
Well, you know what I say? Any press is good press. I do know something I've never seen but connected to this that I want to see. Richard Adams, the guy that wrote Watership Down, wrote a book called The Plague Dogs.
All right.
And there's a film that was made of that in the early 80s. It's about 2 dogs who escape from a laboratory and they're hunted because they might be possible carriers of the bubonic plague.
All right.
And I know John Hurt voices one of the dogs, and apparently it's supposed to be equally dark and morbid and as Watership Down is.
You said you read the Watership Down book. Is that as bad as this? Like, in the sense of there's a lot of, pretty dark then. I wouldn't say bad as this, but does it have the same sort of violent kind of things? And
it's very, very similar, but the only thing I remember is I think there's even more characters, and they kind of condensed 2 rabbits into one for this in several occasions, and just to like simplify it so you didn't have to remember so many people.
Yeah. Well, originally when they leave, a lot of the rabbits get caught, don't they? And there's like 6 of them left or something by the time they actually escape the first burrow. Because obviously Bigwig leaves the group for a day or 2 and is like, well, a day, I think. And it gotta be longer than. And he's in General Woundwart's group, and he's like, yeah, we'll meet up, and I'll bring some more rabbits from them lots, or because we need something to be able to breed, because everyone that was there was male, weren't they?
Yeah,
that's what that's what Kiar says, and he's like, "You've got no mate, you need chicks."
No mates, got no mates, you need chicks. Stupid bunnies.
Exactly.
I do love him.
He's great.
Yeah.
Crazy bird. Who leaves? Should have stayed around. Because one of the things, like Pipkin or someone says, it's like, oh, he's probably gone to that big Vata of his.
I do like it when Fiver starts having one of his fits down in the tunnel and he's making the noises, and the 2 rabbits at the top of Woundwart's go, they had a giant bird who turned into a shaft of light, and now they've got something moaning down the tunnel, and there was something that came them on the water. We should go home.
Yeah. And then Woundwart goes, what was that? Who said that? And then the raptor goes, nothing. No one said anything, sir. You're hearing things, man.
It makes you wonder the Ephrathar where Woundwort came from. I wonder what happened to that after Woundwort went.
Eh,
Because he obviously took himself and most of his worser generals away with him. So
yeah, and they got
probably
fucking
quite
mauled by the
nice.
dog, like.
Yeah, probably quite nice for the ones that were remained at Ephrathar when the crackpot dictator doesn't return or none of his men.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It probably did turn out better for them there, possibly, or maybe there was some left over that still carried on the same traditions. Who knows?
I felt sorry for that Blackavar, the one who had his ears torn out,
Oh,
because he ended up at the Warren with Hazel's lot, didn't he? And he's one of the first ones that gets killed when they're like breaching the Warren.
yeah, he stands up for himself. He's like, "You lot go on, I'll slow him down," kind of thing. And just gets
Yeah.
mauled. That's the thing, when the dog turns up and starts killing all the rabbits, he's literally like, it's not like he's like chews on one and eats it. It's like he literally just grips them in his mouth, kills them, shakes them out, and flings them and moves on to the next one. So much to play with. It's a really good film.
Oh yeah.
Like it's an interesting film to watch. It's like it's quite surprising as well because obviously, like the point of the film from the beginning seems to be they just want to get to a place to have a new war run, and that'll be the end of it. But it's not. They find that place, say about halfway, 3/4 of the way through the film, and then they like, oh no, we have no other. We need to get more rabbits to join us. We have no female rabbits, so then they have to go to another war run, break free rabbits from there, and then they do that, and then they go back to the other place, and they're all like, yeah, we safe you, and then General Wumort and Co find them. So there's quite a bit going on, and I it's just a good film.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't seen this fucking film, you want to see it.
Definitely. It really has got me pumped to try and find Plague Dogs and watch that now. So, because if it's half the film Watership Down is, then it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. To be fair though, thinking about animal stuff, like this was quite brutal in a lot of things. But like in the 90s, there was a TV show that I remember called like Animals of Farthing Wood.
Yeah.
It wasn't as brutal as this, but animals throughout that show did get killed when traveling from one place to another. Like in a similar premise of humans were destroying this land and wanted to move to another, so they were trying to find a new place. And like things happened where, like, I think a hedgehog got run over by a car and stuff like that. So there was that kind of stuff then, but but one thing I liked about this was like, yeah, the humans like busted up all the, like, killed us all in the burrows and what have you. And one of them turns around. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Fiverr. Hipkins, like, yeah, those humans always hated us. He's like, no, they didn't hate us. We were just in the way. So
yeah,
it wasn't like about whether they like you or not. It was a simple fact of humans wanted to do something and be damned the anything else they.
There's a thing where I think, and it's funny that this came out in the same year as Lord of the Rings, because I think both of them, there's stuff about like over-industrialization in them.
Yeah.
They're looking at like an old-fashioned country way of life and freedom and being on the land, and then development is overdevelopment's like the big evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's one of the things they say in Watership Down is the humans are gonna ruin, like, they're on about like the world and blah 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 at that point, and he's like, yeah, the humans are gonna ruin the world, ruin the earth. So like even back in like 70s, they were woke.
Yeah.
Nah, seriously, even then they were like, there was people who were conscientious of over industrialization and overworking things, and not taking care of the planet, and like it's still, even after all these years, we're still in the point where a lot of people are denying these problems and not helping and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think people will deny it right up to the point when the planet's totally dead. It's just in human nature to a degree to turn around and go, I don't see anything.
I've seen a few things in the recent years being like, yeah, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. Turn to, okay, we were wrong. It has been happening, but well, it's a bit late now, so whatever. It's like, well no, it's not. Oh well, I give up with people. I'd rather watch a film about rabbits. A film that's definitely a you. But yeah, Bigwig is cool. I remember when I was younger, I always really liked Fiverr. I don't know why, because he doesn't really do much other than tell everyone they're gonna die.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. Oh, shut up, you're getting on my nerves. That's basically what they all keep saying to him.
I love when you've got that girl rabbit, Heisenflay, that's it, in LLR. She goes, I know it'll be all right, Bigwig, and you'll come for us. I just have this feeling. And he goes, you should meet my mate Pfeiffer. He has feelings like that as well, something like that.
I like the first warren they come across, which is pretty empty. There's about 5 or 6 rabbits there, something like that, and it's because the warren, like, the people chuck food out and then kill them and probably eat the rabbits, and like, oh, we don't care for your what was it, Frailer?
Tales of LLR and his trickery. They have no place here. We're civilized rabbits who know when it's time to come and go. He's like Noel Coward, the rabbit.
But he's funny because he's like talking about, oh, River of Black, take me with you and stuff. It's like, wow, this is a really fucking depressed fucking burrow of rabbits, man. They're just like, we belong to death. I think that's what the film is. It kind of is about, is like different emotions, different, feeling different things, dealing with different things. The planet going to shit. Humans being bastards, killing all the poor rabbits just because they wanted to develop something on the land. And we were watching it, and there was farmers at one point where they shoot hazel, and they were talking. I said, they sound very northern. I said, just across the way you can see Emmerdale look.
I've here shot this rabbit. I think he's got in them bushes he has.
Exactly. It's a good film, and I think it plays out well. Like they seem to be. It seems to show that the rabbits are clever as well. Because like initially it starts off with them just trying to get places, but they start forming plans for like how to. Where Fiverr's like at the end, he's like, oh, there's a dog loose in the woods and that kind of thing. Well, they find a way by having like several rabbits running to a checkpoint, one rabbit to one checkpoint, then another one to another point, and so on and so forth, to like bring a dog along to the to where General Morton, everyone was, who were trying to get into their place. I did like the cat as well. Oh, can you run? I think not. About to kill Hazel. And then the woman comes out, I was like, leave that rabbit alone. The cat's like, fuck's sake, again? Because she almost had him before and was told by the fucking owner to leave them alone. I bet that cat is so pissed off. But yeah, this is a really good film. I think, like, it's a bit more violent than your typical you, and a bit more emotionally taxing than your typical you, but I think it's well worth watching.
I'd definitely give it a PG.
Yeah, I would give it a PG as well. I think, I don't know why. It's, like I said, maybe because it's an animated children's film and they kind of gave her a U. They sort of, oh, it's only a kid's film. It's a cartoon. What's the harm? But, well. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this film before we end?
No, just it's one of the very best films we've talked about on the podcast.
Agreed. I am a big fan. It is well animated. The voice acting is great. It's action packed, surprisingly, considering it's a film about rabbits who just want to go from one place to another. There's a lot going on, and I think if you probably you're good at picking up on things, I reckon there's probably quite a few things that we missed out on ourselves in like allegories and things. But it's basically fucking about living life and dying. What it's about.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be us. If you haven't seen Watership Down, check it out. It's from 1978. There are other versions of it. I don't know if they're as good, but check out this one first. Then if you want to look at the others, then do that. That's what I'd say, because this is a really good film. I would say it's nostalgia talking, but like even my missus enjoys this. And she watched it for the first time when she was like 30 or something.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like, generally speaking, she doesn't like animated features because she's just not into them for some reason. Some people like that. Where it's like, I don't like animated stuff. But with this, she does actually enjoy. Even the other day, we sat down to watch this together, and she didn't like say, I've seen it and fucked off. She sat down and watched it with me. So, goes to show that my point is, it's more that this film captivates you. It kind of keeps you intrigued with what's going on. It keeps your attention. It's a good film to check out. But with that, I think it's time we end. We'll be back in a fortnight. Not sure with what. It'll either be Black Friday or that's already been done and we'll be with something else. I'm not sure. Either way, take care of yourselves. Thanks again for taking part, Kurt. It's been a massive pleasure as always.
It's been nice being on. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, no worries. And I didn't say why we picked this film. We picked this film, actually, right before we go. The reason why we picked this film is because I think I mentioned it about like a film, and I said, oh, well, when I was a kid, I watched Watership Down, and I'm fine. So then we we should do that. Well, you said to me, yeah, we should do that. So we did that. That's what it was. Simple as that. We should do that. Let's do that. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
For Fritz' sake.
And get up plenty soon.
Well, he's hurt and we want to help him.
A bird? What for?
We help you.
Piss off!